solution? We know there are lots of properties empty. We know there are lots of people who need houses. Bring those two together and we have a solution. It's just not that simple in practice, is it?
No, of course, and we wouldn't suggest that this is the answer to the housing crisis, but I think it's one important element of a solution which actually isn't considered enough at the moment. I mean, if you look at what's happening, we've got increasing numbers of empty homes. We expect sometime this year the total number is going to pass 1 million.
These are properties that lie empty?
Yes.
For any number of reasons?
For a whole number of reasons. But it's not as if, you know, that would be bad enough at any time, but it's not as if nobody needs these homes or wants these homes. Actually, you know, as you're reporting, we've got unprecedented housing need. And I think people don't understand why we can't put those two together. And yes, it's difficult, but actually building new homes is really, really difficult at the moment. And we think that actually what could happen is we could divert some of the resources which were intended to build new social homes, which are not going to happen anyway, to using it to bring some of these empty homes back into use for affordable housing.
Which is the biggest category of empty home? I mean, is it landlords who can't let it commercially? I mean, what's the biggest chunk of that property?
And most of it is privately owned homes. But the thing that's making more homes become empty is all linked to the recession. You know, the homes become empty and go back into use all the time. But actually what's happened over the last couple of years is that it's become more and more difficult to get those homes back into use. So homes that fall empty now are staying empty. And, you know, the market is not as strong as it was to bring those homes back into use. And what we need is the public sector to try and help.
So when you hear Margaret Beckett saying, you know, they're in trouble in relation to their building programme, clearly they're not going to, she said herself, they're not going to be on track again till the recession is over, whenever that may be. I mean, when you have discussions with the government, are they not cooperative? Are they hostile to the idea of trying to conjure up some way of using empty homes?
No, they're not hostile, and I think they do understand the point. I think what is missing is that they're not understanding what they need to do to try and get those homes back into use. And what we say is, there's housing associations out there. Last time we had a big crisis of empty homes, what happened is lots of housing associations were out there buying those properties up and turning them into really good social homes. That's just not happening anymore. You know, that's become a really niche activity. Housing associations over the last 20 years have got bigger and bigger and bigger, and they've become commercial entities. And what they're doing is they're building new homes on a very commercial basis. Now that's worked quite well for the last few years, but suddenly is not. And what we need is those housing associations to get back to what they're really good at, which is local regeneration, bringing those homes back into use, which will not only provide new homes, but will actually start to renovate some of these down at heel neighbourhoods that we've got and stop the crisis that we had 20 years ago happening again.